Hi everyone, it's the end of May, nearing the end, and today I'm going to show you a garden tour. So you can see it's changed quite a bit since my last garden tour, and I'm going to actually start over here by my bench. I've got my lemon balm, some butterfly weed, some orange mint, and then some pathetic looking sunflowers. There's some mint in that container on the little table. Oh, there goes the butterfly. Then over here, I've got another butterfly weed. Back behind this bush, I've got some sweet potatoes in there. This is a tomato. Sweet potatoes, another tomato, and more sweet potatoes. If we walk over here, here's my strawberry tower. I've picked quite a bunch of strawberries off of it already, but the birds and squirrels have gotten to bite into a few of them. My potatoes are looking pathetic because they're getting ready to be harvested and they start dying back before you harvest them. Then over here I've got my elephant garlic. That empty pot was regular garlic, as was that pot and a couple that are over there. Sweet potatoes and 2 different tomatoes. I just planted that one yesterday. It was a sucker that I rooted off of one of the plants, one of the other plants. Then we'll go into my big garden area. I've got a sunflower back there. This is the spinner I put up. Down there I've got a tomato, and there's marigolds next to all the tomatoes. Tomato, 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 tomato back there, tomato there, tomato there, tomato in the back. This is a pepper here in this green cage, but something ate the top off of it, a squirrel or something. So I think it's just gonna end up dying. Then this is my pumpkin plant, this vine. Then I've got some celery, another tomato, and this dirt I just dumped in from these pots where the garlic was. I just dumped it in here. And then I've got these mandala rocks that I painted, that one, and there's one over there. And there's another one somewhere else over there. And I have sigils on the bottom of those to help with my garden growing. And over here is a watermelon in the middle, a grouping of sunflowers, and right there is a cypress vine that's going to grow up and flower. And I'm going to plant some more on the other corners of this arch. Then I need to throw away those pots because they cracked. Then over here, I've got 2 tomatoes, both with marigolds next to them. My compost tumbler, a row of sunflowers here, which there was sunflowers here, but they died. And then in this bed, I've got this cantaloupe plant with a cantaloupe on it. Then I've got some tomatoes, and they're looking a little worse for wear, and a basil. And if we go around this way, you can see the cantaloupe plant just trailing on the ground. There's 2 there. My tomatoes, zinnia, that pink flower back there. Along this trellis, these are cucumbers, and then on this side are loofahs, and I'll show you some of the loofahs growing there once I go around on that side. A couple of jalapenos, some more zinnias. These are calendula. I like to dry the petals and use them for different things. These little bitty seedlings that are popping up are more zinnias. Different types of dwarf tomatoes, zinnia, that's thyme. These are some more jalapenos, and those little ones at the bottom are zinnias. Oregano. I don't remember the names of these 2 flowers. They're just some annuals I bought as starts. Parsley, rosemary, a marigold. That little pot is a sunflower that hasn't come up yet. Then these are 2 tomato plants, which have some little tomatoes on them. Sorry, my hand's shaking. I'm not feeling great today. Then on this, you can see that birdhouse gourd right there next to the fabric. I'm starting to tie them up because they're getting a little big and I don't want them to break off the vine because of the weight. Also, these beans, you can see the beans down there. They're called Noodle Beans, so they're really long. Then if we go in here, you can see here's one of the birdhouse gourd plants on this side, and here's another one on this side. And you can see up there is one of the gourds that I covered, and then there's that bell. And then I've got a couple beans down there growing. These are real long beans, but they're just regular green beans. They're just extra long. Pretty cool if you ask me. And then cucumber plant. I've already harvested a bunch of cucumbers. Another cucumber. These are English cucumbers, so the cucumbers are like longer and thinner, as opposed to the ones you get at the grocery store that are a little shorter and fatter. Then these over here are straight 9 cucumbers, which is like an improved variety of straight 8 if you're familiar with those. And here's one of them. Let's see if I can get a better picture. There's one of them, ready to harvest. And then here's one of these English cucumbers, so you can see the difference. That one's ready to harvest now. I'll do that when I'm done with this video. Then my loofahs on both ends here. And you can see the loofahs growing. There's one up there. Sorry about the shaking, I'm trying not to do that. Some over there. And there's a rather large one over here that was the first to get pollinated. Then if we turn around, this is just a random bush that was here before I built my raised beds. I have no idea what it is. Got some basil, a tomato, my little sugar baby watermelon that I planted a seed in the ground there and in the bed, and it's grown. It's gonna be trailing out of the bed. And then that little cup had my cutting in it that I planted right there. And then over here, we've got some, you can see some marigolds spaced around. Then in here we've got, that's a marigold, not jalapeno, pepper. It's a Marconi and a Marconi. And then in this space I planted some zinnia seeds recently. And then these are both Marconi peppers, and we had a lot of rain, and the rain like pelted them so hard, and I think 1, they got waterlogged, and 2, they got pelted so hard that a lot of the leaves fell off of those too. Then this is a big Bertha bell pepper here in the center. These 2 plants are both Corno di Toyo red peppers, and you can see I've got a couple of big peppers on this one already. And then behind this plant is a yellow bell pepper and some marigolds and more of those red flowers. I bought 4 of those. Well, my mom bought them for me. And this is another Corno di Toyo red. This is a California Wonder bell pepper. You can see it's got some nice peppers on there. This is the same type. It's got a nice pepper growing there, some peppers. Here in the middle, these are peanuts. Now, I'm allergic to peanuts, so I won't be eating these, but my family likes them, and I'm just kind of experimenting with growing them. I tried last year in a pot, and the pot didn't do all that well because the pot wasn't big enough for they grow real uniquely, and so, you know. And then you can see more little beans. And then over here, I've got a couple banana peppers with plenty of peppers, and I've already harvested some. And so, really, that's pretty much the extent of my garden over here. I have one other area I want to show you. Okay, so over here, my garden's over there. And then this is our patio area by our pool, and our house is behind me. And in this pot here, this real big one in the back, not this one with the succulents, that's just some different succulents and cactus. This is a lime tree I got recently and planted in there. This one in this pot is a citrus tree of unknown variety. It's either a lemon, lime, or orange. I got some seeds from a friend who got them from her grandfather's house, his trees, and we both planted the seeds, and then I got them all mixed up and wasn't sure which was which, so I kept one of them, and it's grown this much in 8 years, but it's never produced. It can take up to 10 years to produce from seed. So it hasn't produced yet, but I'm excited to see it produce probably in a couple years. And then if you go over here, this is just a random plant. This is my rose garden area. I've got roses here, here, there. That big one we transplanted from our other house. I've been growing that big red one since I was 7. Then this tree here is my Meyer lemon tree. And you can see it's got some little lemons on it. Pretty exciting. All kinds of little lemons. Then this is a rose bush I bought at Lowe's. And as you can see, it's not doing all that well. It, when I took it out, it was like, of the pot, the roots were like separate from the soil. So it was basically like the plant and then the roots with no soil on the roots. Just in soil in the bucket. So I tried planting it and all the roses slowly died, but originally they were a really pretty orange and yellow swirl color. And then this is one I got at the local nursery. It's called a purple passion rose. And it's really pretty, a real unique color of purple. And then these 2 roses are pink. I don't remember the variety. They're planted a little close together, but that's okay. And then this rose over here is pink too, but it's like little roses like that. All right, that's really all I wanted to show you guys. I hope you enjoyed my garden tour. Thank you so much for watching. Blessed be.